Hello and welcome. I'm Warren. Thanks for joining me. This is the back of my car. This video is for my buddy John in Michigan. He was asking me about what I carry in my car. So when I go on trips or whatnot, when I'm out and about, you know, and just for emergencies and whatnot, you never know what's going to happen. Up here, we're here in Alaska. Hello. And so there's some unique challenges here because when you're driving places, there's places in Alaska where you don't get cell service, and if you break down, you may be all on your own. There's some pretty remote places, not a lot of people up here, so you can you know, it can be a while before help arrives, and so you need to be able to take care of yourself and sustain yourself. Also, another issue we don't have many roads, and so, or major roads, and so if there's a big accident or something that has fatalities, a lot of times they'll close off the highway, the police, the state troopers, and so you can be stuck on the other side of the road for 8, 12, 24 hours waiting for the road to be cleared. And so you're just stuck there, and the opposite way may be 6 or 8 hours the other way. So you have to make a decision. Do you go back and wait and then go back home, or do you just wait it out? So you need to be prepared and have some things in your car. And so I just wanted to show kind of what I carry in my little trunk here. I have this, it's not an action packer, it's a sportsman's trunk. I got it at Bass Pro Shop. They were on sale, 50% off one time. And so it was a pretty good deal. And I got this trunk, I don't know if you can see, it's kind of narrow, and I liked it because a couple reasons. It fit in my car, the back of my car for one, and it was narrow enough that I could put it on a sled or a polk, and then if it's in the winter, I could actually pull this on a small sled and snowshoe if I had to take it with me. So let's look at what's inside, and I hope you can see the lighting. I hope it's okay to see in here, but so I have this is a folding sleep mat. So I think this is from Germany actually, but they're nice little folding. That's a folding sleep mat to sleep on. And then I have a sleeping bag. So if you're stuck in your car overnight, and maybe you just went out for a day trip, do a little bushcrafting, and you get a snowstorm comes in or something, you get stuck, you need to spend the night, so you might as well be comfortable. Maybe you only went out to do a super shelter. And then it warms up, and a lot of times an icy road, if it warms up, can turn into a foot of slush, and you're just stuck there waiting for it to freeze again. So anyway, so I have a sleeping bag. I have my old army wool blanket. Oh, and then if you had to, if you didn't want to pull this on a sled, or if it's in the summer and you have to walk to get help or walk back to civilization, I have, this is an army duffel bag, but it has backpack straps. So it's a great way I could put some of this gear in and actually hike out if I had to. So, and it folds up really small. So just an old army duffel bag, but with the backpack straps. Let's see. Oh, I have this is a surplus Gore-Tex bivy sack. So I have a sleeping pad, a sleeping bag, and a bivy sack to stay warm in. I have a raincoat, and this isn't just a cheap raincoat or Gore-Tex. This is the, you know, this is the rubbery ones that like the commercial fishermen wear, and so these are really good raincoats. They're actually waterproof forever. So, and if they get wet, you shake them off, and you don't have to dry them. So, anyway, raincoat. I have just an old blue tarp, some rope. Actually, I have two things of rope. So I have a thing of bank line. That's a small bank line. That's a lot of cordage, and then just some cheap rope. So what else? A poncho and a roll of 2 mil plastic. So I could make a super shelter if I had to. So I've got shelter, I've got something to sleep in, I've got an extra hat and a pair of gloves, And then small first aid kit. A head net, which is very important in the summer up here. We have lots of mosquitoes. And so head nets are very important. And then I have a coffee pot. Something to cook water in. And a spoon. And then inside my coffee pot is an old Coleman gas stove. So this runs off gasoline. So you could siphon gas out of your car and keep it running. And that way I have something to melt or boil water and to cook in. So, and it fits right inside of my coffee pot. So with my spoon, very handy. I have a fire starter. I have a Mora knife, just a cheap Mora knife. These are great. I have a shovel. So I have some candles, and this is a whole bunch of matches in here. So it's a waterproof tin full of matches. And let's see, what else I got? Baseball hat. Got all kinds of stuff. I have this is a saw, one of those buck saws. Let me open this up. Anyway, it's kind of the wooden saw that you have to put together, and anyway, it's a nice 21-inch saw. It's amazing what you can fit in a trunk here. I do have an axe. So I have a knife, an axe, a saw, and I have a small machete. So, and then I have this little fanny pack, and in here is a bunch of food. There's actually 9,000 calories of food in here. It's kind of a combination of dehydrated food and power bars, other things like that that you can you don't have to cook to eat. So it's about half and half mix. So 9,000 calories. That, well, you can do the math there and see how long that will last. I do, for the winter, I do have a little propane heater and a couple cans of propane and a small propane torch, so start the fires, right? But anyway, a little, this is a catalytic heater, actually the Sport Cat, so it's supposed to, it does work pretty good. It puts out about 1,000 BTUs. So if you're sitting in your car, you can warm up if your car's not running. I have a road flares. I have a map of Alaska, which is very important to know where you are, where you've been. A couple trash bags. And a few other odds and ends. But that's the gist of what goes in here, and you saw it all. It's amazing how much you can fit in here. And then the nice thing about this trunk is it has holes on it to lock, so I put some padlocks on it. And then I have a cable that locks to the back of the car there. So that way, you know, security, it's the world we live in. But anyway, that's kind of the things that I keep, you know, and so I can just throw this in and out of my car. If I'm going on a trip, I throw it in my car and I know I have that added security, no matter what I'm doing, where I'm going. And so just a few things. And you kind of have to tailor your trunk to your environment. You notice there wasn't any water in here. Well, there's quite a bit of water in Alaska, so that's not usually a big concern. I have my pot. I can melt snow, because usually 6 months plus out of the year there's snow around. There's lots of creeks and streams, and so usually most places where I'm at there's water around, so it may just be purifying it. And you know, you notice there's no survival kit or some of the other essentials, but you know, we have what we call our EDC, what we carry on us all the time. And usually if I'm going out of town for a purpose, I'll have like my small day pack, or if I'm going out camping or something or backpacking, I'll have my backpacking pack, which may have a survival kit and a water filter and other things that I would be using that day or that time. So this is kind of more supplementary. It's not a all-inclusive kit of whatever you should have for every emergency, but it's something that can make life comfortable if you're stuck somewhere, or if you're broke down, or if you just have to wait, or if you're waiting out a storm, spending a few nights in your car. So, you know, it's a few things. It's real easy to put together. It doesn't have to be expensive. You can put it together over time. You can use action packers or anything. I like a container. It's kind of nice because it keeps it out of the elements. So, or if you had to carry it with you or take it, you know, move, if you couldn't stay with your vehicle and you wanted to self-rescue or whatever. But anyway, so that's hope you like this video. Hope you like it, John. See what I had in my trunk, the junk in my trunk. So take care, and I'll see you guys on another video. I got some great ideas coming up, so hopefully I just get the time to do the videos. And so if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, help me out, I appreciate it. And take care.